is. I do know that people are very concerned about the media in general. I think our viewers trust us, but people are concerned. I do know it's a factual matter that the claim, and I think I'm quoting now, our pre-election polls were really, really good, is just not true. And if that were true, then the New York Times wouldn't have given Joe Biden a 70% chance this morning of winning Florida. Some polls were good, a lot were bad. And I know that the impulse always, for everyone, me, you, I mean everybody, is self-justification, etc. But I mean, we should be honest about, and I'm not specifically talking about Fox News, but the media more broadly, we should be honest about the times that we were wrong. And some of these polls were wrong, and I think many of them probably were wrong for honest reasons, but wrong nonetheless. And that's a problem. That's misleading, and we should cop to it, I think.
But one of the reasons that they may be wrong, Tucker, is something that we've talked about so much, which is this shy Trump vote, right? So you look at Florida, look at Ohio, look at Texas. You've got the president winning those areas by, I don't know, roughly 4 or 5%, something in that ballpark. And every one of the polls that we looked at, even the ones that tightened in recent days, had them in razor thin margins in all of those areas. So it raises that question, how much is the shy Trump vote, right?
Right.
Is it just that the people that they're talking to are telling them the truth, they're just not talking to the right people?
I think you're absolutely right. But the most basic question it raises is this a free country? If you are afraid to express a legitimate political view in public, if you believe you could be fired for it, or banished from polite society for it, is it a free society? And the answer, of course, is no, it's not. And that's a betrayal of the basic promise of America. I'm not overstating this. And by the way, if this were happening to Joe Biden voters, whom I did not vote for, I would say the same thing. You don't want to live in a country where you don't feel free to tell others who you're voting for, especially if it's a major party candidate. So that's a huge dysfunction at the center of our society, and the fact that we just accept it as normal, I think says something bad about us. And we really should, no matter who wins tonight, work to make this a free country going forward. Can I say something really quick?
Yeah.
I just think we should pay attention to the realignment underway. Again, this is separate and distinct from the ultimate winner of the race. There's a county in Texas, or many counties in Texas, but Starr County, Texas, which is right at the bottom of South Texas on the Mexican border. It's one of the poorest counties in the country, I think the third poorest. The per capita income is $7,000 a year, and it's the most Hispanic county in the United States, 96%. So 4 years ago, Hillary Clinton won this county. A Democrat has won it every year since Benjamin Harrison. She won it by 60 points. Joe Biden won it by 5 points. So that's, in the most Hispanic county in America, a swing of 55 points over one presidential term. So that is a huge change. And the thing, from my perspective, that it tells you is that not everything is racial. White liberals tend to racialize everything, but for most people, economics and culture make the difference. And you're seeing the Republican Party become a party of wage earners in a way that it never has been ever since Abraham Lincoln started it. And I just think that is maybe the biggest change to come out of the Trump first term. And I think it's something that will kind of define politics in this country for a long time. And we should pay a lot of attention to that. Again, people are voting along economic lines, not along the clean racial lines that intersectionality and all these other dumb theories suggest that they would. People who make less are voting Republican in bigger numbers. That's just a big thing. It's never been that way. Now it is.
Is the polling industry dead?
I really hope so, and I could name some of the people who should be fired immediately, and I think I will. I just need to calm down enough to get their names on paper. But clearly, look, the instinct of this is true in every industry, because this is a function of human nature, but you cover for yourself and you think of an excuse, your children do it. Well, there's a good reason I did. Okay. No, you screwed up, and you have to acknowledge it in order to get better. But we in the media, I think, are particularly good at pretending that there's some reason that we misled our viewers or our readers. And we really should stop doing that, because too much is at stake. And the first way to fix it is by holding the people who screwed up accountable, and that's just by firing them. And they can go do something useful, like hang drywall, or learn to paint, or do something else. But they cannot keep discrediting the work of the rest of us by screwing up in the way that they have. I think that's a fair ask.
Yeah, I mean, I would just mention with regard to your earlier thought, Tucker, about the shy Trump vote and then the polling on top of it. If pollsters, the freedom of expression, I've seen so many front lawns during the course of this where there's signs for the Republicans who are lower down on the ticket, but not a Trump sign, right? So it's like shy Trump voter, down, up and down the street because they are afraid that if they put a Trump sign out that, something might happen to their house, or they don't want their neighbors to know who they're voting for, but it's evident. So it's clear that a lot of these pollsters are not, no matter what they do, they're not going to be able to reach some of these folks.
And they should open restaurants, you know what I mean? Or learn to fix transmissions, and that's great. Those are honorable jobs.
Tucker, as always, thank you. Congrats on the ratings. Let's go to Bill Hemmer. Bill, you still up there?
Sure am, guys.
Okay,
how we doing?
Let's do a little what if again.
Okay.
Because we are in the what if territory.
Yes,
right
we are.
All right. I have my board. You have yours.
Okay, right on. Let me cue it up.
So,
all right, go for it.
Let's just say, and Martha's in this too.
Yeah.
Let's just say Georgia, North Carolina, Iowa. Okay, Alaska.
Let me follow along with you.
Montana.
Got it. Right on. Yep.
All right. Now, let's not touch Pennsylvania, but let's go out here. And
Alaska?
Nevada. I've got Alaska. Maine, or Nebraska 2 goes to Biden. Maine congressional district goes to Trump. Okay. Now, Wisconsin.
Yep.
And then we go to Minnesota. Go ahead.
Maybe.
And then
Maybe not.
Then you're at 258. This scenario, either one of those, let's say Republican Michigan, he wins. Donald Trump wins if he wins 2 of those.
Yeah.
He also wins if he wins Pennsylvania. If he wins Wisconsin. Now I'm splitting the congressional districts, but then it's Pennsylvania and Michigan if he wins Wisconsin. And it's possible that he could win Wisconsin.
Yep. Here's what I did a moment ago. I almost kept up with you.
All right.
But it's midnight, right? Here's what I did a moment ago. Apologies about my math. I'm doing it on the fly. So I got out the calculator a moment ago. Martha, we were talking about Wayne County. That's Detroit, okay? 300,000 votes back in 2016 separated Hillary Clinton from Donald Trump. 300,000. Tonight in 2020, statewide in Michigan, bear with me now, you have roughly a 300,000 margin in the state of Michigan at the moment. A few of these rural counties, Upper Peninsula, still have not checked in. You got a few down here. Let's just see what these counties did 4 years ago. All right, they're all red. This is red. No, sorry, Berry County. So that was a difference of 10,000 votes from 4 years ago. And as of tonight, Berry County is not checked in yet. Right? So that's an outstanding vote, clearly. It's razor close here, all right? We were talking about Milwaukee County a moment ago. Got out the calculator. Wanted to make sure I could get this thing down here, 2020, all right? Milwaukee County from 2016 now was decided by Hillary Clinton by a margin roughly of 162,000 votes. So come out statewide, 2020, where are we now in the state of Wisconsin? By my math, we're about 124,000 votes that separate Trump and Biden in Wisconsin.
I mean, that's not a small margin.
No, it could be significant in a massive way. And Brett, you're talking about the pushback. Everybody's getting the pushback in Arizona. I don't know if this is going to change or not. You know, listen, our decision desk went with it. They're telling us there's 1 million votes out there. We'll see if that's the case throughout the night. But to your point about Wisconsin,
Bill, you know what's really great about you?
Sorry?
You produce, you and Styrewall, whenever you're on, Fox News Decision Desk can make a call. And that is Iowa for President Trump. He will win the state of Iowa, the 6 electoral votes in Iowa. That was tight as you got towards Election Day. He will win Iowa, and Joni Ernst is there as well. We haven't made a call on that race yet.
I would just point out that it's a 7-point spread, exactly what the Des Moines Register said it
Bingo.
would be just a couple of days ago. So once again, there is a pollster out there that is doing a good job tonight.
I was thinking about that over the weekend, guys, and I remember we were at the Super Bowl in Miami, right, on that Saturday night before the game. The Des Moines Register was coming out with his Iowa caucus poll, and they held it back at 11 o'clock. Remember all that?
Sure.
Remember, it was the gold standard. It was never released. The next day they played the Super Bowl. The next Monday we're in Iowa. They never give us the results from the caucus because they got the data all confused. The day after that we're in D.C. for the State of the Union address, and by then America had moved on to New Hampshire, the primary. We forgot all about Iowa. I thought that poll on Saturday night, a 7-point advantage for Donald Trump, a 4-point advantage for Joni Ernst, was substantial. Ann Seltzer wants to get it right, and I know she was very embarrassed by the poll in early February, and I bet they worked very hard to make sure that they were spot on. And tonight, at the moment, it's exactly what they said, 7 points in Iowa.
Can we just get a look at the Joni Ernst, Teresa Greenfield board there, guys?
What I can do here for you.
I think we've got a race board here, a Joni Ernst race board of
Look
the
at
Senate.
this.
There we go.
You got it? 6 points at the moment. 92% of the votes been counted. See that, guy?
Republicans are feeling confident about that race. If she holds on, that's a big, big get, and one of the vulnerable senators that will get by.
Just watching this here, if you guys want to hang with me a moment, Wayne County, not a ton of movement right here, so in Detroit, so, well, okay, you guys ready for this? I mean, I just showed you from 2016 the counties in Michigan that were still outstanding. One was blue. That was right here, Muskegon County, Michigan from 2016. In 2020, this just clocked in Trump with a 4,000 real vote lead along Lake Michigan. Listen, right?
There you
All
go.
right, we
Keep
can
talking.
there's that Senate race.
Keep talking.
Magic. If we talk about it, we're able to call it. So that Joni Ernst over 51%. Teresa Greenfield gave her a good run for her money. That was a very tight race. And Joni Ernst has secured her spot in the United States Senate and her seat for the Republicans.
Well, let's
as
look
they
at the
look to hold on to the majority.
net gain, the 53-47 we started with. The Senate board now with that win, that's a hold, obviously. So Republicans holding that seat, and it's still a net gain of 1 for Democrats if you put Mark Kelly out there in Arizona.
God, I'll let you do this in a moment. I just want to point this out, guys. It's pretty obvious to me what's happening in Michigan. I mean, this is something you really have to follow closely. I don't know what happens in Detroit overnight tonight into the day tomorrow, but this was a county that the president won 4 years ago. These counties all up here too. They were all red, okay, exception here, and now they're filling in. Well, we have some grays still, but at the moment, I think. He's in this thing in Michigan in a big way, and we can't ignore it. You know, 10,600 votes from 2016 seems to be razor tight again this year.
Interesting. All right, Phil, thank you so much. We'll be back to you in just a minute. We're going to take a quick break here. Iowa was just called for the president as results continue to trickle in. It is after midnight on the East Coast. We're going to have a lot more for you from our decision desk right after this. Stay with us, everybody.